Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Heidi. In this video, I'm getting real about something that so many of us in the transgender community deal with, and that is misgendering. Whether it's from strangers, co-workers, or even family, that hurts. But guess what? You are valid, you are strong, and you're not alone. I am sharing how I personally deal with misgendering as a trans woman, how I stay confident in my identity, and what helps me keep my head up when it gets hard. If you've been through it or if you're going through it, this one's for you. And without further ado, let's get right into it. When it comes to misgendering, it happens to me all the time. This happens to me every single time I'm on the phone with someone. Even after I provide my personal information, even though I give them my name, even though I sometimes even say my preferred pronouns are she, her, and hers, especially when you call the doctor's office or you call just anybody on the phone. Like, I have had to correct so many people over the phone because they end up always calling me sir. And at first, I used to get really, really upset because I used to think like, damn, I don't look like a sir, right? I sound like one, but I don't look like one. And it's kind of weird because if you see me on the street or if you interact with me on the street, I hardly get misgendered. But every single time that I'm on the phone, it does get annoying. It happens to me every time and I deal with it very constant. It used to like get me very upset. It used to get me so mad, and I used to like get in a bad mood every single time someone would misgender me. But I feel that as time has gone on with my transition, I've changed the way that I look at that. I feel that everything has really shifted since I decided to accept myself. I went through the process of thinking, when I transition, I want to do every single surgery that's on the book so that I don't appear as trans, or so that I can just blend in and have a happy life. But once I decided to check in with myself and really truly accept me for me, that's when I decided that nothing else was gonna bother me. And so now when people misgender me, I wait for them to finish whatever it is that they're telling me. And then I do take the time to correct them, to make sure that they understand that they're speaking to a trans person on the other side of the line, and that they need to address me by my name if it's too difficult for them to address me as she, her, and hers. And it has worked. People don't really expect that. The majority of the time that this happens, people get really frustrated with the other person, and instead of getting the help that you need, the other person gets offended because you're trying to correct them and they don't help you in the same way. And so what I decided to do is let the person finish saying what it is that they want to say, and then take the time to make them aware that in fact your name is Heidi, and that your preferred pronouns are she, her, and hers, and that you are a trans woman. And 9 times out of 10, people get taken aback because they are not expecting for anyone to correct them. I don't say it in a bad way, I don't say it in a bad tone. I just simply correct them, and I ask them to please address me as me. And they do. It happens all the time. But in the beginning, I used to get very, very upset, and it used to like mess with my entire day, to the point that like I would just be so frustrated. But ever since I came to terms with myself, with who I am, like in the inside, I think like now, if anybody calls me a sir, like even if they were to do it on purpose, I don't think I would get as upset as like I used to. And The one person that highlights this very much is like my partner, because we've been together for like a long time and he has been a witness to this. Like every single time that I'm on the phone with someone and he just like looks at me, he gives me that look, and then he has recognized that like it doesn't affect me as much anymore. And I feel it. I also feel it, like it doesn't affect me as much. That's why sometimes I try to, or I think there are many times when I think like, oh, maybe I need to get my voice done, because I do kind of want to blend in. But another part of me, I don't want to do it, because at the end of the day, like, this is who I am. I am trans, and if it's gonna take some time for me to correct someone, then that's what I'm gonna do for now. But it's gotten to the point where, maybe not misgendering me, but it's gotten to the point where I have called, let's just say, I'll give you an example. I was trying to deal with my insurance and I called my insurance. This is when I was going through the process of like changing my name. And so on one end, my name was already changed, and then on the other end, nothing was changed. So when I called my insurance to get some information and to get that fixed, I was actually accused of like trying to commit fraud. That wasn't the case. The lady, or the person who spoke to me over the phone, clearly said that my voice didn't sound like if it was from like a female. And I told her and explained to her that I was trans, and instead of like listening to me, instead of like taking it back and acknowledging that like, oh, she's making a mistake, no, she stood in her ground and she literally accused me of fraud, all because I didn't sound like Heidi. And so the way that I dealt with that, I did get frustrated with that person, but I didn't let it get to me. What I did is I ended up asking them for their supervisor's name and phone number so that I can reach out to them. But that bitch thought she was slick, because she was not trying to give me their manager's name. She instead was like, I'm gonna send them an email, I'm gonna send them your information, and I'm going to ask them to call you back. And girl, I'm not gonna sit there to go back and forth with that bitch, but I did give her my information, and supposedly she was gonna send them an email so that they can reach out to me. And mamas, that never happened. So that tells me that that bitch that was on the other line didn't know how to deal with it, even after I told her that, I'm trans and my name is Heidi and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. She just chose not to deal with me. I'm not sure what happened or why she was so defensive, but that is the only time that I think that person was not like respectful of me, of my pronouns, or even my identity. And she instead accused me of trying to commit fraud. And bitch, that's not true. So like, if you were to see me face to face, I don't think people would give me the same attitude, because I look like Heidi. And at the end of the day, like, that's what says on my ID, that's what says on my passport, that's what says in every documentation that I have. So it is challenging to deal with those types of situations. But at the end of the day, like, I have to be strong. I have to be strong for me. I have to be strong for my partner. And at the end of the day, I need to continue to live. So regardless of what the next bitch has to say about me, or regardless of that hater that is spreading like internalized transphobia, I don't know if they're having a bad day or whatever the fuck they're going through, but when it comes to me, you gotta respect me. And I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna call you out on it, and it doesn't not matter if you get mad, then that's your problem. But I'm not gonna get upset, and that's what I've been saying to myself the whole time. And now it hardly happens. Like I said, on the phone it happens very much. In person, what happens to me in person is mainly like, people see me and they want to help me, or they, you get to the counter and people are like, oh, hi, can I help you? How can I help you? How are you? Like, with the big smile. And then when I respond like, oh, no, thank you, I'm okay. Or if I need something from them, like if I ask them like, oh yeah, how much is this? The one thing that I have seen and I keep on seeing back to back to back is their face, like their mouth drops. it drops because they're so confused. And I don't know, I mean, I see myself and I still see like trans in me. So I'm confused. Like, these people really get tripped out because I may not appear as trans, but when they hear this voice, it is automatically a different change of attitude. I used to get like really embarrassed by it, but I don't do that anymore. Like, fuck them. If they want to think whatever they want to think, then let them. Do not care about what any of these people have to say or think about you. As long as you are living a good life, that's what I always say to myself. Like, as long as I'm living a good life, as long as I'm happy, and as long as I get to just be me without harming anyone, then I got to live my own life. This isn't something that could be taken lightly. And so, in the first stages of my transition, it used to affect me like really bad, but it doesn't affect me anymore. It does not scare me. Like, if somebody were to call me a sir or anything like that, I would gladly take the time to correct them, and I would gladly educate them, and I would gladly expect that they honor my request. And if they can't do that, then I'm not gonna waste no fucking time with them. Plain and simple. And I'm not gonna give, this could be anybody. Like I said earlier, this could be friends, families, co-workers, and you know that this even happens in your family. Like, you know, usually this happens with your sisters or your mom, like really close family, where like you allow it to be that way. Like, I used to be like, oh, it's okay if my mom calls me like mijo. Like, no, the reality is that no, you don't have to call me that. You cannot call me that. You have to respect that. And it is in that moment when you stop it from anybody, including your family members. Like, I feel like your family members, that's where you need to start. You need to educate your family members about what trans means, about pronouns. You need to educate your family about the differences between being trans and being gay, because a lot of people still don't know that. But even if after you explain it to them and you educate them and they still don't want to understand, or they still want to go ahead and misgender them, then maybe you shouldn't be around them. This is my point of view, and this is just what I think about this whole situation. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to change anyone's mind about it. And if people want to come around, then let them come around whenever they're ready. But this isn't about them. This is about you. This is about the trans community. This is about the struggles that we go through. And I am so sorry if you continue to get misgendered, but just don't pay so much attention to it, because at the end of the day, that is just internalized transphobia from people. And most of the time, people use that as a weapon to like hurt you. So don't give them that power, because bitch, you look so good. So good. And at the end of the day, just remind yourself, you are living your life authentically and genuinely. And half of these people that you see on the street, like, girl, they're just like existing. I don't even think they know their name. So don't get so pressed about it. I used to do it, but not anymore. I'm not gonna give anybody the pleasure to get on my nerves like that. I'm not gonna do that. I decided to stop doing that a very long time ago, and if I can do it, so can you. That's the reality. I am so sorry if this is something that you're going through in the moment. Just know that nothing is forever, and that there's gonna be the day where you're gonna look so good exactly how you want to look, and no one is going to know that you're trans or that you were trans. If somebody comes and tries to get on your skin, don't let them. Don't let them. You are strong, you are loved, and you're not alone. Just remember that. Remember that and live authentically. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.